kid by touching another kid.
It's protecting a kid by covering their private parts.
Correct, but that's not your job to do.
Well,
What a still shot. This woman claims that she was at a restaurant, she was hanging around, and she saw a teenage girl with a really short dress that was hiked up, so she decides to go up there and yank it down. What she... I can't with that stance right there. Like the stance, that facial expression in her face. She thought she was doing a service for everyone, and she thought she was doing the right thing. Why is she at the police station then? Let's watch.
You, Ida?
yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Good.
Good to meet you.
Her name's Ida. She seems calm. You know, she's like, oh, hi, how are you? She seems friendly.
So,
Oh, no, is that her son? Oh, God, is that her son? Is that her kid? Oh, my God, the kid's probably like, why am I sucked into this? Oh, no. Embarrassing actions from your parents. Hey, it's me in your head. That's right. I'm just going to blur the son out because I do feel bad for them. And, you know, honestly, they are not their parents, okay?
these little girls have continued to incite a mob, and I've been harassed all day. Not only did you take it, they took it down from St. George Post and her Facebook, but now she put it on Instagram, and now she put it on TikTok.
Okay, so she yanked another person's skirt down. And when I say yanked the skirt down, I don't mean like yanked it fully down all the way, but she yanked it down. And when it was going viral online, she decides to go to the police. I read an article that said she actually called 911 and they gave her the non-emergency line. So, by the way, this is the TikTok video. So they're at a restaurant.
And if I have to watch your cheeks hanging out again, I will call CPS. Do it.
I work for the state, and I have to see if your ass cheeks hang out again. I will call CPS, ma'am. Oh my gosh, look at the righteousness just beaming through her.
Yeah, go for it right now.
Flowing in her veins. Oh Lord.
18. She is 19 years old.
You don't get to touch her.
You don't get to touch her. You don't get to touch her. You can come up and talk to her, but you do not get to touch her.
Really?
We would love.
So look at her reaction when they tell her she's not a child. She's 19 years old.
For you to call the police. Go ahead and call the police.
Okay, so let's break.
I'm sorry, but if you were a grown woman, you're sitting there and you do see a young woman with a really short skirt that's hiked up, what would you do? Would you just go up there and just yank it down? No, you'll probably just be like, either one, you wouldn't say anything, right? Don't really care, mind your own business. Or two, you know, maybe the polite thing, just quietly go up there and be like, oh, hey, by the way, you might want to pull your dress down a little bit. Your butt's hanging out. Something like that. Something nice. And not just, bam, just like yanking someone else's skirt down. That's just unhinged. That's just unhinged. Oh, boy. Okay, so let's go back to the body cam footage. Hi, Jesse.
Various ways they are able to obtain information and they share it.
As like a
to
private
people to
investigator?
achieve.
Yeah, as a private.
Whether the goal is to get somebody fired, to something.
Yeah, so they're trying to dox her, maybe try to cancel her. And when I say they, I don't mean like whoever posted. I'm saying it's probably maybe the people in the comments section. Maybe even the original poster was just trying to find out who this woman is and maybe report her or something like that and find out her information. Maybe call the cops on her. I don't know. Maybe report her.
Like that. It's they
Continue to tag this guy and reach out to this guy to find, you know, my personal private information. In this particular situation, I told them who I was because not only were there minors involved that were all seated around me, but my son was present as well. And so that's the only reason why I was like, listen, you know, charges can like happen. You're hanging out, you know, your private parts are hanging out in private in front of minors. That's not something that you should take lightly. Like,
But see, there's a difference between what she's saying right now. Like, hey, by the way, you know, it's not good to have your goodies out in front of other people. It seems like she went up there and just like touched the woman's skirt and then pulled it down. Or there'll probably be a different outcome, right? If she had done that instead. And she knows that's a more calmer, probably the unhinged method, because that's what she's giving the cops right now. Oh yeah, you know, like I was telling her, like, you know, you could maybe there's charges, there's people around, blah, 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 blah. She knows. Okay, she knows. And then like her kid right there is like, oh God, get me out of this.
cover up. But it doesn't give them the right to disseminate my information publicly like that and to try to harass me to the extent that I've been having it. I believe I'm 100% in believing in freedom of speech and but when you omit, delete, and make it seem like one situation is totally different than the other, and then accuse me of sexual harassment without the facts, like at some point something needs to be done and needs to be stopped, and they have a reputation for doing this, which is why none of the minor kids wanted to get up and say anything. And so I don't.
The video she posted has currently reached 517,000 views.
Damn, 500,000 views. Okay, I'm speeding her up a little bit because she speaks a bit slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just kind of
And
blew up.
people
it's
are-
far from a Steve video. It just kind of.
And it's because she's putting me out there as like a sexual predator.
Karen and just
Yeah. The hard part is, even if it's edited and made deleted, obviously you could be looking at slander if it's not completely true, but the fact that you did touch her skirt, she can claim, if she wants, she can claim sexual battery, right?
Oh no! The moment you realize that law enforcement isn't on your side, it's like, oh let me get the out of here.
She hasn't. There's no legal investigation right now on either of you. Nobody's in trouble right now for any of that stuff, but it would have to be founded, right, on both ends, right? We know that you saw this, but we don't have any video evidence of her hanging out. We don't have any witnesses that have come forward and said this is what's happening other than we have your account.
Because most of them were men, and I forwarded you a text message of the person that was with me that was a male, and it was like, I would be arrested in a nanosecond if I was.
Wait, most of them were men? I thought when she said when she was sitting, most of them were minors. So now most of them are men? Okay, so they'd be arrested what, if they accidentally looked?
Sexually accused of like touching someone inappropriately.
I would be arrested if I was accused of sexually touching someone inappropriately. Miss I think her name is Ida, right? Miss Ida. What did you end up doing? Oh God, Ida. Why? It's as if she just admitted the crime right there.
Oh yeah,
Right?
not touching, I just mean they saw. The
Right.
witnesses come forward, there's documentation for it, that kind of thing.
But because of the sensitivity of the nature, and everyone thought she was a minor because she did look like a minor, and there was a ton of kids. It was the high school ball.
Did you think she was a minor?
Yes, I did. I actually.
It was a high school ball. Oh, okay. Sorry. There's so much to say because there's just so much packed in here. One, she made the assumption that the teenager was a minor. Do I make assumptions maybe? And another thing, she said there was a high school ball. Is that true or not? Or is she just making up facts to boast her claim right now? And then now she's saying, well, yeah, I actually did think she was a minor. Okay, then don't tug on a minor's skirt. Oh boy. She's digging herself into a bigger and bigger hole out in the dry desert.
A minor because she did look like a minor, and there was a ton of kids. It was the high school ball.
Did you think she was a minor?
Yes, I did. I actually thought she was, and that's why I was like,
I just don't
so
understand,
he
I don't
got
understand why you
charged.
went up and touched her.
Thank you, Mr. Law Enforcement. Oh God. Okay, so she thinks that. Oh my Lord. I think she was like, yeah. I thought she was a minor. Okay, now I got this rolling. And then law enforcement's like, then I don't understand why you went up and touched her. Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, let's watch.
Yes, I did. I actually thought she was, and that's why I was like,
I just don't
so
understand,
he
I don't
got
understand why you
charged.
went up and touched her.
I didn't touch her as a person. Like,
I mean, you can find it, but you see how that looks, right?
I got a standing ovation from everyone that was seating behind me.
That's totally
because I
beside the point legally.
covered
Oh, let's bleep that. What's going on here?
A kid by touching another kid.
It's protecting a kid by covering their private parts.
Correct, but that's not your job to do.
Well,
Love it. Coming from an authority figure. That is not your job to do. Like I said, I would have had no issues if she just went up there and politely and just told the teenager, like, hey, by the way, you might want to deet, you know? And if they ignore her, they ignore her. That's what it is. She's not the policeman of the fucking, what was this, a Sakura hibachi place that they went to?
they weren't covering up, and
Call us. That's what I was trying to tell you.
I was trying to. You could see me on the video
You
trying
told
to
me
dial
that
the
it
phone.
would take too long for us to get there, so you did.
No, that's what But I was trying to dial you guys, but because they had everyone storming in, and you could see how they were being.
They thought she was sexually battered. That's her claim.
No, that's her claim. That's her
That's her
claim.
claim.
So she's saying that she didn't have time to call 911 because it was happening so fast and it was something so immediate that she had to take action.
And all she knows is somebody grabbed her from behind.
No, because I told her that her parts were hanging out, and then when nothing was being done, and all the little kids behind me were just staring.
By the way, initially when I heard about the story, because I read this about a couple days ago, I thought it was maybe the teenager wasn't wearing any underwear and like it was like hanging out or something. Because the ways that she's saying it makes it sound like it's like stuff hanging out. But in the video, when I looked at it closely in the TikTok, she says ass cheeks. So her butt cheeks are just hanging out.
That's when I proceeded to cover, and I was trying to dial. I mean, you see me on the video where I have my phone in hand and I'm trying to dial, but I couldn't even dial. And then that's when the owner was coming up. So it's all.
I understand.
If the owner was coming, maybe alert the restaurant owner instead. I mean, I don't know what the restaurant owner is really going to be able to do. I mean, I know they do have like dress codes for you. Like if you want to be served, you have to wear like a t-shirt, you have to wear shoes, blah, blah, blah. I don't know about skirts being too short. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. But I mean, if the owner was coming out, she could have went to the owner and talked to them. No?
And there's inappropriateness with how she's dressed. I can totally understand that portion. I can understand that things got blown out of proportion, and I can understand your standpoint from it. But I guess, what do you want me to do?
Well,
Ma'am, why are you here? Wait, how long do we get her side of the story for? Oh my God. Okay.
the post needs to come down, and they need to
That's freedom of
stop.
speech. There's no crime.
Not when
They can say whatever they want.
No, but I mean, they're reaching me. I mean, all their little friends.
Have you told them to stop talking to you?
No, because
Try that.
No, because then
Try that. First of all, don't talk to me, please. I don't think that's going to work. You're going to have to like block or something. Oh no, look at her face. She's not liking the way this is going. Oh.
that is me instigating them.
But that's the only way that they can be harassing you. If you tell them to not contact you and then they contact you, then that's criminal.
Well,
If you don't say anything and you're engaging in it, then this is just a civil banter that the unfortunate thing is you're held to a little bit higher standard than that.
Oh, but then if I engage in a conversation, then that makes it appear
You
like
don't have to.
I am.
I'm just telling you, I can't do much. Legally, there is no... I can't tell them to stop posting anything.
So what would be
It's
your
freedom of
best
speech.
advice for her to respond? Should she come up with a drafted response of, please do not contact me anymore?
That's what I tell everybody that has any claims for any type of...
Oh, they just love their mama. They're just, this is their mama. They're trying to help out, Oh gosh, I really hope her kid doesn't get targeted for this. This is all in the mom's actions. And you as a child, you do whatever you can to support your parents, whatever. And you're still young, blah, blah, blah. But like, I hope no one's going after them. But this is going to be hard, man. I feel like they're going to get bullied in school. Oh, I hope not.
Of electronic communication harassment. The hard part was, if they do contact you, yeah, we're gonna have a crime. I'd have to contact these girls, but is that their real names? Where do they live? Like, I don't have their information. You don't know them. We just know that they have accounts.
I
could look it up.
They've
They
got
have business accounts with their information.
Oh, okay,
And
then
then-
I can reach out to them if they continue to harass you. That's
and then
upon certain requirements.
and then
to be
not
done.
only do I block them, and I just I block them and I take a screenshot, but they're now making up fake names.
That's part of
Oh, okay. So she is blocking them. I mean, just keep blocking them. Just keep on blocking them. I mean, you decided to insert yourself in the situation. And, nowadays we have social media where things do get, unfortunately, and sometimes fortunately, get posted onto TikTok, blah, 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 and it blows up and then people come after you and stuff like that. I think in this scenario, I mean, you kind of asked for it. You could have minded your own business. It wasn't something that was pertinent. It wasn't something that was, you had to do something right away at that moment, at that time. She decided to take upon action on herself. Like, I don't know why. I never really understand people who just don't mind their own business, or why they can't just be polite about something. Why just go on for the aggression?
harassment. So I haven't contacted them because I don't have any legal reason to yet. If you tell them to stop contacting you, then I can reach out to each one individually and tell them they can't contact you. It doesn't mean they have to put their videos down, but they can't contact you. But
Oh, that's actually nice. I feel like that's a lot more. I wouldn't expect law enforcement to be offering something like that. That seems kind of nice. Like, oh yeah, you're willing to contact them for me? Okay, cool.
by indirect means or by direct means. So if they make a fake one, technically it's a Class B misdemeanor for every message they send after they've been advised by me or law enforcement that they cannot.
Is that true? I mean, this is in Idaho. I don't know. Maybe.
Which it sounds like they're probably going to continue doing that, so they'll be looking at their own list of charges. But as far as legal, I know where you're coming from, but legally, I can't, and I would be on.
She's like, shit. She's not getting the answers that she wants. Oh man, she thought she was gonna come here and maybe law enforcement was gonna, welcome her with open arms. Like, oh, we got you, Miss Ida. We'll take care of you. Oh, these darn teens nowadays, you were doing a great service. Here's a fucking trophy, okay? I think she even mentioned that the entire restaurant was applauding her. I wonder if that's true or not. I doubt it.
Is constitutionally removing those videos.
See, the problem is that people, they're under the perception that I, for no reason approached her. I just touched her inappropriately, right?
For sure.
And if I was a mom and my daughter came and told me those circumstances.
Actually, what was the caption? I think people know why she went up to her. Obviously because she thought the skirt was too short.
Under Utah.
Karen gets upset. My friend is wearing a mini skirt, so she aggressively grabs it, yanks it down. Anyways, you're probably underage. You probably shouldn't be wearing that, and causes a scene in a busy restaurant. So they make it clear right there that the friend is wearing a mini skirt. And obviously people would be like, okay, well, the Karen probably has an issue with how short the skirt is. It's not like they just wrote, oh my God, this lady came out of nowhere and just yanked my skirt. She's making it sound like that's what happened.
I would be pissed and I would be contacting you, right? But because they haven't done that, they're not willing to, and I haven't addressed it. I haven't approached it. I haven't said anything. I've been pretty silent.
That's the best way to approach it, because everything blows over.
Oh boy.
The more you inside it, the more it's gonna get views. It's gonna blow up. And the problem you're gonna run into is if she comes to the department because of this and she decides that she wants to go sexual battery against you, it's gonna be her word versus yours, and your word versus hers for the lewdness. And
plus her friends, and then plus camera surveillance footage in the restaurant if there is any, and then there's any other patrons that were waiting there, willing to come forward with this.
I'm going to end up submitting charges for both of you to an attorney for them to decide, because I wasn't there. I don't have witnesses. I don't have documentation. I have a video of it potentially is edited. I'm not going to use that as evidence. So that's what we could. I mean, each of you could equally be investigated.
Oh man, do we have restaurant surveillance footage
Right now, I would prefer that. I don't like charging people ever.
Oh, okay. This is
So
juvenile
that's
info.
the only reason why I was like, if you don't cover your private parts and someone goes and reports it, it's worse that you're 18 or 19 because you're an adult and there's,
Sure.
right?
Sure,
So,
But then that's on them, right?
And it would have been perfect if we would have been there to help that.
right.
Now we're in a limbo where you have acted in a capacity that was also inappropriate and illegal. Technically, as it is a crime. You cannot touch somebody if they do not want to be touched, and especially if it's in the area. If you pull her skirt.
Seems like he's a bit resourceful, and he's also giving her the, I don't know, I don't want to call it the smackdown. It's kind of like the smackdown where it's like, ma'am, you're here to report something, but it seems like you're the one that did something wrong. So she's kind of self-snitching right now.
Down, and that's touching her buttocks.
Well, I didn't touch her buttocks.
But her skirt is.
Her skirt was way beyond her buttock. I mean,
I'm saying
Her skirt was way beyond her buttock. Way beyond her buttock.
Ida, you can have it both ways. Either her skirt was way beyond her buttocks to the point where you weren't touching where her butt was, or her skirt was way beyond her buttocks to the point where she was covered properly.
And what was what she say?
about her privates.
What will she say? And the classification for disorderly conduct for you touching her is nothing but sexual battery is a class A. And how do we prove that?
Well, just contact your employers, let them know the situation, and how they
Oh no, contact your employer. Okay, so I mean, her child seems pretty mature. Oh boy, I mean, yeah, you might want to give your employers a heads up. Be like, hey, by the way, I might have overstepped when I was at a restaurant, and I might be viral right now, so you might get some phone calls. Just letting you know, just a heads up. Oh boy, I don't know how you would have explained that to your employers, or if you just STFU and just not say anything and hope they never find out. Oh gosh.
might be getting.
Well, I talked to one of the attorneys, and
Attorney? She talked to who, attorney what now?
I talked to my boss,
What did they say?
and she was like, if she actually was showing her body parts and we can interview that 10-year-old, she's gonna get charged.
For sure.
And I was like, and that's what I was trying to avoid. I was trying.
But you see, when the boss was listening on her side of the story, she probably gave a severely sanitized, edited version where her boss was like, oh my gosh, she was showing her parts, like probably thinking she was showing her vajay or something. And there was like a bunch of kids running around. And oh my God, she was the one who came in and saved the day and swooped in and boop, yanked the skirt down. I don't know. She probably gave her boss like a side of a story. And then her boss probably heard what really happened, was like, huh, that's not exactly what she told me.
Trying to avoid anybody putting her in a predicament.
Do you know who that 10-year-old was, or where
of,
to find him, or the dad, or anybody?
I know the little boy, well, because I was sitting there afterwards and the dad was like, thank God somebody did something. He's like, my son should not see that. And he goes, if I reported that. And that's how we got into the whole conversation with everyone seated in the area.
And this is how people like her will retell the story as if they were the one that was the hero in all of this. But usually they'll give a more edited version to make themselves look better.
And that's how we assess they were all minors except for that dad.
I'm a
from
parent.
himself.
Wait, how did they all assess that they were all, that the young ladies were all minors? Also, she said when she was sitting there, it was like a bunch of minors were with her. Like she was sitting there. I think she made it seem like when she was sitting there, there was a bunch of other like young minors around to see that, and that's inappropriate for kids to see. But then she said that she was surrounded by men But now she's talking about a dad and then like a 10-year-old, and then she was talking to other people.
I understand where
Restaurant surveillance footage, anyone?
you're coming from. I would not want to see that either. I don't want my kids to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
But I can't approach that myself.
That's what the
Even me, and she's being lewd. I don't have the right to cover her up. I can take her to jail, but I don't have the right to touch her.
Yeah, she didn't like the response. So initially, it seems like the cop was starting to say things that were on her side. She's like, yes, yes. And then he started saying things that she didn't like. She's like, oh, God. Chewing on her little gum right there.
Or cover her up because I feel that that's what's... If you can...
What's really sad about this whole situation is that the men that actually wanted and could do something and wanted to do something out of fear didn't, because this is exactly what have happened.
By the way, we're in St. George, Utah, by the way. I just want to kind of give you guys the possible demographic here. We're in Utah right now, St. George. Does that ring a bell?
And it would have been worse.
That's where we live in now. Everybody's entitled to their pronouns and their hormones and whatever else. And unfortunately, that's just where we're at. And anybody can just claim anything, and most of it isn't true.
Wait, hold on a second. What does that have to do with this? Okay.
Most of it isn't true.
Her skirt, due to the shortness of her skirt, it was like this, and you could see everything open. And that's why I was like, so I stood behind her, and I was like, go like this with my clothing, and I was like, you know, you should probably cover up. And then at that point, she turned and she was like that, and I was like, oh my God. And that's when the dad was like, cover up, you know, and then the mob rush of kids started coming in, and that's at that point where I was like, oh my God, like, you need to cover up. And that's when I pulled her skirt down to cover up, because instead of like covering up and backing up and saying, okay, is my skirt down? No, she proceeded to like lift her arms and move with her friends, and it kept going further up and further up, and that's why I was like, oh my God, somebody like cover it up. And
okay. Let's say, I don't know if her version of the events are true. So she did try to tell the girl to cover up. The girl didn't want to, and she didn't like that. She took an affront to that, and that's why I think she just decided to just yank it down a bit, because she wasn't getting what she wanted out of that exchange, okay? Assuming she's telling the truth, because maybe she just went up there and just yoinked it down. We don't know.
as you can see, they were mob rushing at me as I was trying to stand behind her to cover her butt.
And the information they might have is that they think you're sexually assaulting them. They don't know, but that's what they're hearing.
Correct.
That's the
Exactly.
protection aspect.
Yeah, that's more than just posting a video and letting people decide for themselves, right? Now they are trying to get somebody to come and hunt me down and find me to put my personal information out there. That is way
They can't
more.
post certain things about you, but it's not like
What
that's-
things would
Actually, they couldn't post anything yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that. I don't like the internet trying to hunt her down, but maybe she was just trying to find out who this woman was so she can report her to the police. I don't know. Or maybe you can go to the police and try to find out yourself. I don't know. I'm not really quite sure. I'm not a huge fan of a bunch of internet people hunting someone down and then trying to destroy their employment, blah, 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 blah. But what she did was fucking unhinged, okay?
The reality is if they are, the best thing you could do is if you are feeling this way,
All these facial expressions.
because a lot of it's civil, right? I can't do a whole lot legally,
right.
but you can still go to the 5th District Court and obtain temporary POs and whatever, restraining orders, documents to where you can take action against them for that information if a judge sides with you on that. Because he could be like, yeah, I could see how having their address put out on there is a danger to you, because now if these people are going to be angry with you and they think that they're going to come find you because you touched this little girl, right? And then you got someone showing up on your doorstep.
I wonder at this point if he's just kind of just telling her what she wants to hear, sort of, just so she can just F off. Because if I was him, I'd be like, this is a waste of my time. What am I doing here?
Now we have a problem. But now if I investigate this, it's most likely going to come onto you as well.
Yeah, no.
And I don't want that to happen for either of you. I don't want you to be exploited in the internet by any means. I don't want anybody to have to go through that.
Yeah, but I'm an adult, you know what I mean? And if people were to
Exactly. You were the adult in the situation. I mean, they're teenagers. They had just turned They just became adults? But you're well into your adulthood, ma'am.
hear my side, it would take a totally different.
So make a.
You think that
So
any
repost your own. You have the right to it and say here's the second half of the story and find your own witnesses and you can do that, right? The same as you can. It's just, is it worth it to you?
No.
Oh boy. I wonder if she did end up doing a response on TikTok.
at her age.
No,
It's not-
because I'm.
And I promise this fizzles out very soon because there's not. If you haven't reacted yet through even social media and
It's
stuff,
not like she published the news.
like if you haven't reacted, you've got to. It's doing this immediately.
Yeah.
People will scroll to the next.
That's why I refuse to feed the frenzy and add, cinders.
And I-
I just don't want anybody posting because I do have my son, my
For
17.
sure, safety first.
Yeah.
And I do. In my line of work, I obviously understand what sympathizers are, right? And they don't need the full information. They just need enough to get heated, and then yeah, maybe they show up somewhere they shouldn't, or they have an opinion that was just planted in them, right? Those sympathizers
These are sexual-
have
these
been
are-
known to cause issues. It's just how far does somebody take that? They take it about 2 minutes before they scroll to the next video.
Yeah.
So she came up.
Okay, here are the teenagers. Let's see. I need to see how fast or slow they talk. Oh boy. So did the teenagers they must have just came to the police separately. Maybe they didn't know that Ida went to the police first. Wait, when did Ida go to the police? Okay, so she went 4:22. Teenagers came day after.
That, and then she touches me, or she does
How
that.
does somebody take that? They take it about 2 minutes before they scroll to the next video.
Yeah.
So she came up, did that, and then she touches me, or she does that, and then she says, "You're underage. You should probably hide that. If you think I'm underage, why are you touching a minor at all? Especially if you think I don't have underwear on."
Yeah, the logic wasn't there
No.
for me.
Oh, is this the same? Is this the same law enforcement? Oh gosh.
That's why I was wondering when you mentioned that you thought she might be drinking. I thought there's a judgment issue maybe going on too.
Right.
And then she came back up a second time after Avery came up. Our other friend Avery, fun fact, same name, she was standing right next to her. And the second time she came up, she touched both their hips and squeezed them, like pinched us, and said she was going to call Child Protective Services if she saw
And then the
but
rest
she
was
saw-
on.
Wait, that would have been on the video, I think, right? Because we did hear the part about when she said she was going to call Child Protection Services. But I think there was like some people walking in front, so we couldn't really see. We have to go back to that. She does look young. She does look young.
I saw the video, and I think 57,000 other people saw it too.
Yeah.
But she looks young, but you can't assume that she's a minor, and then you can't just be grabbing people's skirts. I don't know. I'm just so confused. If you thought she was a minor, here's what you do: locate their parents and let their parents know. I think it's so weird when adults try to deal with other people's children directly. It's like, no, you're not their fucking parents. You find their parents, and then you could deal with the parents, just the two of you guys. You're not parenting anyone else's kid. But in this scenario, obviously, I think the woman went straight to her because she probably didn't really think that she was underage. She probably just saw like, oh my God, teenagers, like, oh God, wearing their skirts that high. Oh my God, so disgusting. And then probably decided to take action and, pull the skirt down herself.
When the first time, so she never said anything, you turned around, when the first touch, was that just skirt or was that your body?
No, that was my body and my skirt.
So my perspective was, because I had a perfect view of it, she's sitting on the bed trailer, and it looked like she got.
Wait, so who is this? Oh, are they all in a group together? Oh God, lots of witnesses. Oy, oy, oy.
So my perspective was, because I had a perfect view of it, she's sitting on the bed trailer, and it looked like she got up and said something to her husband or the dude that she was with, handed him something, and then she just sassily walked right up to her, and I don't think she said anything. She just pulled the skirt down, then says something.
Which is different than her version, because the other woman, Miss Ida, was like, oh yeah, I said something behind her, and then the team was just like, ugh. And that's when I decided to pull the skirt down because a bunch of people were flooding on in, and oh my God, I had to protect their eyes, their precious little eyes.
Something, and then walks back. And then that's when I told her, I was like, hey, she just pulled her skirt down, that was weird.
And then we all started
Yeah,
talking.
so then there's this group, they're talking, they're saying this stuff, they're all looking at her for probably maybe 80 seconds, 90 seconds. And then she gets up again, comes over, and that's when they started going back and forth. I let her go for a sec, and then I went over and was just kind of tripped her. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't talk to her, you're doing all right, blah, blah.
And there was mention of where she was saying, I don't want to, in the video she said, I don't want to see your whole ass cheeks, right?
Yeah, but yeah.
And even if it was a little bit of, let's say, butt exposed, right? You're not talking your
Yeah, because initially I was like, okay, well, was the young woman, was her vajay exposed? Like, she made it seem like it was all out there, but okay, it's like butt cheeks. Like, okay, yeah, you really shouldn't have your butt cheeks be hanging out, but there's a difference between butt cheeks and vajay hanging out.
correct.
I had
So-
shorts and underwear on.
And so she's also claiming that they couldn't have been on because she saw, like I said,
And phone, yeah.
in detail, that's why I asked those questions, just to see.
She's a video of her going like this now.
I got that video, and that's why, so I can confirm that too. I'm just checking that you were wearing underwear. You were wearing shorts over.
Oh my god, that's the law enforcement. This is so awkward. I was confirming that you were wearing underwear. You're wearing whatever. Oh my god, this is so awkward for a grown ass adult. Like, oh boy.
Your underwear underneath the skirt.
Footage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the
Am
full
I allowed
video
to
and
see that?
everything.
The footage of the restaurant?
Oh no, they have
I'm in contact with the boss, and I asked her before any of this was happening if I could have the footage, and
she just requested that I go ask.
Huh?
Did she request that
Well,
I
she
ask?
said, so she asked her husband to send it to her, and they were, apparently he was working without her or something, and they both decided to just send it into you guys instead, and like you guys take it over, but I
They
don't
haven't done
think
it.
they've sent it in
They
yet.
would need like an incident number, which I can give.
Yeah,
and
she
I can even go
said-
pick it up. It's,
Oh, yeah,
it'll
get the
be pertinent
footage.
now. So really, she came forward with claims of the harassment because she was being.
Harassed.
That's not harassment. It's not. There's free speech. You can put.
That's what she said.
The video, she was worried about the videos. Now, when it comes to the messages that were going to like her Facebooks and stuff, she was replying back, but like some of them were derogatory enough that it could be looked as harassment, but it doesn't sound like that was any of y'all.
No.
Fake accounts.
Was TikTok does its thing.
Yeah,
It goes
it
crazy.
went so viral that like this world, the world works.
Yeah, and she was worried about her safety for sympathizers. Like if they showed up her house, her personal information gets aired. Obviously, she's worried about that. She has kids. Like,
Yeah.
I told her that's all valid. Nobody should be going that far with this, but it's not that. It's not asking for people to do that, right? So it's still free speech. You can post a video, so that part's not the harassment, right?
Everyone saw it, so.
Right.
We had people, I had someone come up to me in the middle of the restaurant, and he pulled me over. It was the people that she turned to after she talked to us.
Oh wait, what?
Her behavior.
He was like, I'm so sorry that happened. Like, are you guys okay? And I was like, we're fine. And I was
That's
like,
probably why she told me she doesn't want to involve her son at all.
She comes back to the police department. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Written statement right there. Oh boy, oh boy.
Okay, so I told you I'd do a full investigation if they came forward, right? So they came forward with their side of the story. I only had yours. After listening to everything totality about everything going on, I've talked to Sakura. I got some of their video. I've got the.
Oh yes, it is Sakura. Yes, I think Sakura Hibachi. I think they're a chain. I had friends that used to work at Sakura.
TikToks. I think most everybody in the city has that TikTok. And then we've got your statement, her statement. So I try to make it as unbiased and fair
Oh man, I think she knows what's about to come. Look at that stance. Look at that facial expression. Oh boy.
as I can, right? I do have some concerns from what I've been told by them. Obviously, some things you've also told to me, right? Even when we talk two wrongs don't make a right, when we were talking about that, I said, there's criminal behavior that's happened regardless. And the other aspect was, if she was exposed and there was a lewdness aspect, would I investigate it? Absolutely. And that was the other claim, right? Those are two little things. The electronic communication harassment we've addressed. Everything that's come in now is going to be from who knows where. They even mentioned, like, I don't even live in the country, some of these text messages that you're getting. If anything comes in further, you're probably going to have to report that to Santa Clara where you live for the electronic side, because that's going to be now an internet-related crime that's not
Well,
related.
it's happening while I'm at work, like during business hours while I'm at work, which is why you
In the
get.
city?
Yeah.
Where are you working? Typically with something like this where I don't have
I'm sure she learned now. Maybe to mind your own business. You know, there are times where you should maybe step your foot in and maybe help someone out or insert yourself, but you gotta choose wisely, man. You gotta choose wisely.
video. If I didn't have video footage, it'd probably be going a different route with this, because there's video footage and because of the claims made, and I have to protect victims. Today, you're going to be placed under arrest for sexual battery. Okay? So that's the unfortunate side of all this.
You're arrested.
Oh my god, I wish I could see the facial expression. Oh gosh, I know that they're blurring it out because there's some information, but like, couldn't we just get like the circle where we just see her face? Oh gosh.
Sexual battery. Okay? So that's the unfortunate side of all this.
You're arresting
Yeah,
me?
you're right now, you are under arrest, okay? So if you'll just face my sergeant and put your
Wow.
hands behind your back.
Don't reach in first, please.
No, I was just trying to put that.
Just follow those instructions.
And just relax your hands, sir.
Do you have a vehicle here?
Yeah.
Is something
No.
We can keep it
you need to
protected.
call, come get your car?
I'm sorry. What?
Is there somebody we can call for you to have them come pick up your vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay. Who is it you want to call?
Wow, that's crazy. Imagine thinking you were in the right from the get-go. You decide to go up to someone, pull their skirt down, and then you go to the police to report them having a video viral on TikTok, blah, blah, blah. But then ultimately, you're the one that gets arrested. Oh boy.
Probably my 17-year-old is at home. So.
Control.
Just double lock them so they don't cinch your button. That way they won't cinch on. I know it's unfortunate, Ida, but what should I do?
Well, I
These are
mean,
the facts of the
honestly,
case.
I was honestly thinking she was a minor, and she should probably keep it covered
If you thought she was a minor, go get her parents.
because of the kids that were.
But also, a minor to minor is a lot different than an adult to a minor. It'd be worse if she was an adult, no?
Well, no, I was looking at it from a mother's perspective. Like,
What do you have any type of pocket? I don't.
yeah, I do.
I'll just search those instead of going
I don't
to
have
pull
anything.
everything. You don't have anything concealed on you that's illegal? No drugs, guns, bombs, that kind of stuff? Wearing a bra?
Yeah.
Nothing in your bra?
No.
You're wearing underwear. It's like, I'm sorry, that was inappropriate.
Okay, they go through a body scanner, so just tell everybody
I don't want the answer to
I'm
that.
not concerned with you shooting me in the back of the head. Are you going to do that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I honestly
These are just
like.
standard questions we have to ask everybody.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I'd do a full search on you, but I understand
Yeah.
the circumstances here, so you can just walk this way. Don't want you to fall, though. These ones work, so I don't have to reach over. You just slide in.
Oh boy, the
Backwards
ride
is
of
the easiest.
shame.
Oh, I actually can get in.
Okay, watch your hands.
Ride of shame. I hope we're able to get the survey. I mean, not like it really matters. I just want to see what happened in the restaurant, honestly. I want to see if people were really applauding her. Like, the entire restaurant was like, woohoo! Oh my god, Ida, you did it! Thank you so much for saving our eyes! You're amazing! You saved our children! Alright, so that's Ida right there, and she has been arrested.